of the federal government in the District of Columbia and throughout the United States and its territories, and possessions until sunset on August 30th, 2021, in honor of the victims of the senseless acts of violence in Kabul.
Folks, be sure to stay until the end of this video to find out if President Biden will do his job and send out more stimulus relief. Now, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York is one of the fighters in Congress, asking for more stimulus relief from President Biden. Now, the Congressional Progressive Caucus held early discussions on whether to push for a renewal of unemployment benefits. After all, folks, they are set to expire on September 6th. Now, this may be an opening for them to leverage their influence and obtain extra federal aid for many Americans. Now, some Democratic lawmakers are raising the alarm over the end of crisis unemployment benefits. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said, "What we have right now, residents. The Connecticut governor has recently held a news conference to announce a new budget proposal that he will present to the General Assembly this month. This proposal will include a plan to increase Connecticut's earned income tax credit from the current rate of 30% to the federal rate of 40%. Increasing the rate will provide an additional $45 million in state tax credits to approximately 200,000 qualifying low-income people. Above the amount they are currently receiving under the program, people can get a lot more. Families will generally receive 95% of all the earned income that the tax credit dollars creates. And this is just one of the several tax relief measures that Governor Lamont will include in his upcoming budget proposal. Early this month, he announced it will include a plan to restore the pass-through entity tax credit to its original level, enabling small business owners to save money by claiming a credit that's even larger than the returns. The governor plans to announce additional tax relief measures, including those targeted towards the middle, lower class workers in the coming days, everybody. And key economic indicators such as retail sales and historic job gains are painting a picture of a robust economy that shows few signs of slowing down. But smaller than expected drop in January inflation has some economists worried that the Fed is going to prolong its interest rate hikes, which could less payments. By the way, what are your thoughts on Nancy Pelosi? Is she doing her best part in helping out the American people? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Now, the House delayed a planned vote to advance two key proposals that make up President Biden's economic agenda.
Saying you know of such and such a group of people are trying to get out, they're on a bus, they're moving from other people, and this is their location. And there have been occasions when our military has contacted their military counterparts in the Taliban and said, this, for example, this bus is coming through.
Centrist Democrats have pushed Speaker Pelosi to vote on the Senate-passed bipartisan infrastructure bill before the House approves a $3.5 trillion budget resolution. The House scrapped and planned a vote to advance two key economic proposals as centrist Democrats and party leaders failed to break a stalemate over how to proceed with President Biden's economic agenda. President Biden's economic agenda, folks, should include a fourth stimulus check. He already sent out the third stimulus payments, and now he must do two things: increase the Social Security benefits to help out our seniors and pass out more stimulus payments.
101 years ago, after fighting, marching, struggling, starving, being starved, women gained the right to vote, won the right to vote. The newspapers at the time said women given the right to vote. That could not have been further from the truth. Now, Biden's domestic goals, everybody, is of course that the Democrats remain in Congress next year for the midterms. Pelosi has pushed to pass a $1 trillion bipartisan bill and her party's separate $3.5 trillion spending plan at the same time. But this process could take weeks or even months, as the House needs to find a way to join this. As the House needs to join the Senate in passing a budget resolution before lawmakers write a final proposal. Folks, Pelosi must get together with the Democrats as well as the Republicans in order for the stimulus checks to be sent out.
Came up with a brilliant idea. And the brilliant idea was to go forward with what is called a ChainCP.
So now the question is if Congress could actually adjust the amount of money that you receive from Social Security. Because the millions of seniors and senior citizens and also retirees are worried about what the lawmakers are going to do in order to keep Social Security and Medicare solvent. One proposal is going to support both parties and it could cut the benefits by 50%. Now, Today, the Senate Republican Bill Cassidy told reporters that Joe Biden and the former president have the same plan on Social Security. Senator Cassidy said both Joe Biden and the former president have the same plan, which is to do nothing on Social Security and to allow a 24% cut to benefits when the fund goes insolvent in about 8 or 9 years. They both have the same plan of doing nothing. Social Security and Medicare have been at the center of contentious debate across party lines over federal entitlement programs. Even Republicans have pushed for spending cuts, demanding Democrats make commitments about negotiations on a debt ceiling. They've said entitlement programs are not in jeopardy, but Democrats have painted the spending cut calls as threats and positioned themselves as protectors of the program. Funding for Medicare is expected to hit a shortfall in 2028, while Social Security could run out of money in 2032. Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid currently make up nearly half of the entire federal budget, with an annual cost of $1 trillion. Senator Cassidy proposed creating a fund which is separate from Social Security, or about $500 billion to be invested into the nation's economy. Plus, Cassidy stated, "And we allow it to sit here, we allow it to grow, and at the end, it helps bridge Social Security's sustainability and all the risk that is borne by the fund." One other option being discussed is raising retirement age. Republicans like Louisiana Senator John Kennedy and even its presidential candidate have recently proposed doing that. Last year, a group of House Republicans called for increasing the retirement age to 70 years old for Social Security and Medicare. That's then indexing it to life expectancy. But it's not only Republicans supporting the change, because many of the Democrats have shown their support for a higher retirement age. Raising the eligibility age is not an insignificant proposal. Research has found that raising this would actually increase and cut monthly Social Security payments for early retirees by about 15%. And people in low-income or blue-collar jobs would see their retirement cut the most. And according to USA Today, the average cost for a gallon of gas, of regular gas that is up 21 cents in just 1 month. The national average price for a gallon of gas was $3.67. On average, the gallon of gas is also widening variably across the country. For instance, in California, it was $4.20. In Mississippi, it's $3.16. Meanwhile, the national average price of diesel has fallen 0.3 cents in the last week and stands at $4.15 a gallon, 87 cents lower than a year ago. But according to analysis at JP Morgan, oil prices are poised to rally soon, as the Federal Reserve is expected to pause its rate hikes. Since the 80s, the final increase in a tightening cycle has been followed by increasing in the price of Brent crude 3 months later, returning an average of 9%. Now, it's the most traded of all the oil benchmarks and is defined as the most drilled in the North Shore fields. The main takeaway is for now that if the Fed pauses its rate hiking campaign soon, the most likely scenario is that oil performs well. Markets expect the Fed to raise the rates one more time, lifting them by another 25 basis points. So this can mean several good things for the American people. In response to inflation, the Federal Reserve has embarked on a series of hikes to its benchmark interest rate, which raises borrowing costs for consumers and businesses alike. That should slow the economy and slash demand, however, eventually bringing down